There is no better way to start off the new year than with the NBA here on 2K Sports. Kevin Harlan here, joined by our analyst, Greg Anthony, and Hall of Famer Doris Burke. Plus, reporting from the sidelines, another Hall of Famer, David Aldridge. DA, it's all yours.
Hey, Kevin. Trae Young said when he was growing up, he was never a big leaper or a dunker. Truth be told, he said, I wasn't even considered a top guard in my recruiting class. But I worked relentlessly and played with a chip on my shoulder. I wanted to be considered among the great players. I wanted to belong. Kevin, he certainly belongs with the Hawks right now.
Thanks, DA. A look at Atlanta's opening lineup. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Young and Herter make up the backcourt. And it's Capella in at the 5. And for the Clippers, they've got Paul George. Morris is out there with Montrezl Harrell. Then it's Williams. And it's Mann in at the 3 slot. And for teams already exceeding expectations, Greg, their spirits are running sky high right now.
Kev, it's always a great feeling to come out strong, but it is hard to maintain that consistency. The teams that do, you know, they believe in themselves and they keep playing to their strengths.
Why is consistency so hard?
You know, because you're not playing against yourself. And we're human. And, Kevin, as great as you are as a broadcaster, you probably have had some days where you didn't feel as good as you did other days. And that's no different for a guy competing at this level.
My friend, that's every day. Every day you don't feel good about it. But you grind, right? You just try to keep grinding.
You got to do it.
The Atlanta shooting their first foul shot of the night.
And taking a look at their free throw statistics on the season, right around 74%.
Here's Williams. Really struggled in the loss against New Orleans. Outside, George. Pass to Morris. Here's Mann. Pass to George. Over Young. George, no good. Here's Atlanta now. It's a three-point game. This, their first look at this year's Los Angeles squad.
And this game will be half of the contest they'll play against each other this year.
It's an interesting matchup. Two teams that don't know each other all that well. Separate conferences. We'll see which one can dictate the pace early.
The fadeaway, not a terrible idea, but he needs to make the game easier on himself. He's overcomplicating things.
Herter passes to Hunter. Young taking his time here. It's good, and he makes his first shot of the game.
You gotta like seeing this from Young, wanting to prove he's more than just a jump shooter.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
George with the bucket.
Such a multi-talented threat on the offensive end, and you love his confidence.
And Paul George, Doris, kind of a late bloomer coming up in high school. His older sister used to give him the business on the blacktop. Of course, eventually, he found his stride, and the rest is history.
It took some encouraging from older sis and his high school coach, who actually had to threaten him with running suicides to get the guy to shoot more. And think about it. This guy plays his college basketball at mid-major Fresno State. That's really where he got onto the NBA radar.
Here's Herter. He's guarded by Williams. The kick out to Young. Hits the three-point bomb. Young's got 5 now.
And this is why Young is so dangerous. He just gets that shot off so fast before the defense can react.
Now, here's George. 20 points for him last game against the Pelicans in New Orleans. Tries it from the top of the key, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in.
Good way to start this game. You want to get him rolling as early as possible.
He's a guy who, if he gets hot, he can carry your offense for long stretches.
Morris against Collins. Young for three. Bangs home the trifecta. Young's got his third basket of the night right there.
3 of 4 to start. Young fella came to play.
And here's Williams now. He'll bring it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. They trail by 7. The quick look, no good that time.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Collins looking around. Shot clock at 5. The Hawks need to get off a shot here. They get it back. And it's sent back by George.
Paul George, tremendous vertical. How fast does he get off his feet?
Man passes to Morris. No good on the shot. So the Hawks will take it the other way. Now, here's Hunter. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Back to Herter. Capella inside. Rebound by Harrell. Harrell's got 4 rebounds in this game. Here's Mann. Another shot, and Morris with the lay-in.
Well, at a healthy 235, Marcus Morris is pretty good at throwing his weight around, especially on the glass.
And Atlanta calls their first time out of the game. And it's a completely new group for Atlanta. Let's check out the Eastern Conference standings now that we're in the new year. Taking a look at Atlanta, they're in the upper part of the conference records right now, in 5th place.
And right now for the Hawks, they've looked very solid here to start the season. What's surprised me the most is just how much confidence this group is playing with.
They really do look like they came into the season with the belief that they belong in the conversation among the best teams in the league.
Now Shamet after the missed 3 from Cam Reddish. And it's Harrell missing.
Never easy to stop this guy at the rim, but that is a beautiful contest right there.
Reddish uses the glass to finish the layup.
Yeah, heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Clippers trail by 7. 51 seconds left to play in the first. And he comes up with the deuce. The Hawks have gone just a shade under 50% from the field. 5 of 11. Jackson against T. Dishes it to Dedmon. It's hauled in by Zubac. Looking at Los Angeles, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Pelicans in New Orleans. Jackson deciding where to go with it. Releases. And it's Shamet missing. Here's Bembry, defended by Beverly. Pass to Teague. Basket good.
Jeff Teague's such a seasoned veteran. He knows exactly what to do when the defense is playing them in the pick and roll.
Trae Young, he's feeling it tonight and has been the driving force for the Atlanta Hawks. He notched 8 points in the quarter and has that terrific basketball instinct on display. And we'll be right back after this. And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far, halfway through the first half in this one. And what do you guys think about the Hawks here in this one?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys who've done a great job guarding multiple positions.
And so it's Atlanta with it. 7-point game, the biggest lead in the game. And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. On the court right now for the Hawks. Teague out there with Bembry. And there's Carter. Then it's Reddick. And it's Fernando in at the 5, roaming the paint. Shamet kicks to Jackson. It's deflected, and it's going to be out of bounds. The Clippers will retain possession. We have got to see that sensational mobile one block again.
Emphatic with the rejection. You've got to appreciate that kind of forceful defense.
Here's Zubac. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a three-point play. Greg, I think of you in a New York Knicks uniform, legendary arena you played in. What was that experience like?
Kevin, intense. I remember the first time I suited up in a preseason game. We played the Dallas Mavericks. Both teams went up and down the court 3 times and nobody scored, and the fans started booing. And that's when I knew this is a little bit different.
Mind the lanes.
You better bring
Mind
your
the
A game.
lanes.
And thicker skin, correct?
That too, yeah. And fortunately, there was no social media or internet back then. Goodness gracious.
Atlanta leading by 4. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Hey, thanks very much, Kevin. Clint Capella is a 7-footer in track shoes. He said, I always try to have that pace. Whenever I sprint, I have an impact on the offense. I try to focus on that and keep my energy up. Guys and guards love big men who run the floor as hard as Capella. Back to you.
He is indeed, David, very athletic. Thanks. Here's Beverly, up and in on the layup.
Well, this guy is a fighter. Patrick Beverly will not back down from contact.
Teague, the pass to Carter. Teague against Zubac. And the rejection by Zubac. And that one goes out of bounds. Last touch by Zubac. And the Clippers making a change here. Morris is checked in. Teague against Jackson. Softly drops in the floater. Teague's got his second basket.
How about the touch on that floater? That shot, as Teague has in his arsenal, is such an important piece to have.
Zubac kicks to Beverly. The pass to Morris. Knocks it loose. Just 4 to shoot. Good on the bucket.
Well, just so good at taking advantage of the mid-range. Marcus Morris feels comfortable in that area.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. So for the Clippers, Mann's checked in, and it's Paul George in for Patrick Beverley. Quarter number 2, we're about 2 minutes in. Young with no one around. Knocks down the 3 ball. Young's got 11.
The most lethal part of Young's game, his outside shot is often on the money.
Passes it to George. And it hung on the rim, but wouldn't fall for him. Down low. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Marcus Morris picks one up there.
And when Collins goes up, the interior defense runs out of options. He forces them to get sloppy.
The Hawks shooting their second and third shots at the line right here. First one falls for him. And so Collins nails both of them. Greg, who are your favorite players to watch in the NBA?
Boy, that's a tough one. You know, you gotta like the guys that have changed the game in some regards, right? Steph, KD, and Giannis. Those are 3 guys that are just doing things that don't seem normal.
True.
Then others who remind you of past greatness. You know, Jason Tatum with Kobe, or maybe an Anthony Davis with Hakeem. And those are guys that I love. And then the other guy, listen, LeBron James. I could watch him play basketball every day. You know, to do what he's done at this stage of his career, I just think it's incredible. And I think our game is in great shape.
Agree on all counts. This is his first free throw of the game.
And on the season, you know, only shooting around 73%. So not necessarily where he'd like to be.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That's good from George.
Well, you love the energy out there. Paul George is an extremely confident, extremely versatile player, and he brings a great level of activity to both ends.
And both free throws good for Paul George.
You can tell when he steps to the line the kind of confidence he has in himself. It's written all over his body language.
Capella dishes to Young. That one is good. He's only missed 1 shot of his 6 taken on the floor.
And the work ethic coming into play there. I like how Young can just focus on the task at hand.
Here's Mann. 9 points last game out. It's stolen by Capella. And they're pushing it up. Pass to Herter from downtown. And Clint Capella is going to pick up a foul. That's foul number 2 for him. The Atlanta Hawks come into this one following a loss to the Suns. Here's Williams, and Capella sends it back.
Opponents have to be careful when Capella is in the area. What an impressive display of timing.
Young drives in, lays it up off the glass. Young's got the lead up to 9 now for the Hawks.
You can see it. Once this guy gets his rhythm, he is so hard to slow down. What an excellent night for him and his team.
Here's Williams. And that one hits back iron.
And that's the battle they haven't been winning today. Their work on the glass has been porous, and that's got to change.
Herder, no good. Clippers have gone 3 of 8 from the field since the beginning of the second quarter. And the rejection by Collins.
Boy, they can't cut into this lead with him going stone cold and only so much time to turn it around.
And how about the awareness Hunter possesses, understands when one of his guys has an opportunity.
Los Angeles calls timeout. As the teams head into this timeout, a chance for the coaches now to map out some plays for the next few minutes and a chance for the players to rehydrate with some Gatorade. That's important if they want to make sure they don't wear down later in the game.
Absolutely. Over the course of a game, you have to stay hydrated.
Checked in for the Clippers. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for the Hawks. Well, we've got a moment now to see this year's three-point contest and how it's shaping up. Let's take a look at some of the top candidates emerging as we see here some players who are likely to make the final cut.
Not too shabby of shooters on this list, Kevin. You gotta love the advancement and really the evolution of the three-point shot in today's game.
You take a look at Young. The third spot in the voting belongs to him. There are very few players with his ability from long range, and it looks like he'll be rewarded with a spot in the three-point contest.
And I'm sure there'll be some changes in the rankings still to come, but you're right. I'd be surprised if there's anyone who wouldn't cast a vote his way.
And it's going to be an exciting showcase this year. Some incredible shooters, that's for certain. We'll keep you updated as we find out more.
Yeah, I think we're in for a real treat. I think the increased importance of the three-point shot in today's game has really shined a light on the talent, precision, and really the wow factor of how these guys can drill the long ball.
Morris outside. Harrell trying to free himself up. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
Well, he might be a bit undersized, Montrezl Harrell, but he plays bigger than the frame suggests. Hold on.
The Clippers shooting their 4th and 5th attempts at the free throw line tonight.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good.
Boy, what you appreciate nightly about Montrezl Harrell is he leaves nothing on the floor. This guy plays with ferocity, with energy, and he's turned himself into a legitimate threat.
Patrick Beverly, he's checked in for the Clippers. Jackson comes in for Williams. Reddish, he's checked in for the Hawks. DeAndre Bembry comes in for Kevin Herter. So he gets them both.
Yeah, in this quarter, they've had the right approach, driving and drawing, initiating contact, create opportunities, get to the line.
Bembry the pass to Collins. And here's Young from the arc. Another 3 for Atlanta.
And that's back-to-back threes. The D just seems to be slacking off a little bit.
Outside Jackson. Morris finds George. 36 seconds left to play here in the half. The basket is good. That's his 6th attempt and his 3rd make.
We are talking about a proficient, efficient scorer in Paul George. Go to work, sir.
Pass to Young. And that one drops for him. Young's got 12 points now in the quarter.
I'll tell you, this guy is proving to be a problem for the defense. In this quarter, he has been special.
Now George, 8 points for him. Lets it go with a 3. That one misses. And so it's Atlanta. Their lead at 15 going into the break. Defensively, they have gotten after it, contesting every shot going up. And now let's catch up with David Aldridge, who's standing by from the sideline. All right, Dave.
Thanks, Kevin. Trey, you've made it look easy so far. How have you been able to pick them apart?
I'm just taking what the defense is giving me. Open driving lanes. They're leaving some of our bigs open, pick and rolls, things like that. We just got to continue to do it and try to get this win.
Make them pick their poison, right? Thanks for your time, man. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you watching at this very moment. I'm Ernie Johnson. Kenny the Jet Smith is here. Shaq is here. One half is behind us. Welcome to the 2K Sports Halftime Show. After 2 quarters, it's Atlanta out in front. They are leading by 12. Kenny, what was your impression?
Clearly, this game is all about Ice Trey. This guy's confidence is incredible. When he gets into a rhythm, he takes over games.
And Shaq, your take on the Clippers?
They didn't show enough toughness in the paint. D. When you get dominated in the post, it sets a bad tone. You always want to win that physical battle in the area. Otherwise, you wind up with a score like this. I don't believe I'm watching this.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
Welcome back. The calendar has flipped over, and so have we, into the second half of our broadcast. It's been one outstanding game from Trae Young.
No problems fighting his way to the rim in this one. A lot of points in close.
And part of that has to do with his mindset. He has been looking to push the action at every opportunity, and he has been in attack mode all night.
And after a very lopsided first half, we'll see if things play out a little more evenly here in the second. We've got Marcus Morris. Paul George is out there with Lou Williams. Then it's Montrezl Harrell, and it's man in at the 3 slot. So that's the lineup on the floor for the Clippers. 6 to shoot. Here's Herder, and it's sent back by George. You know, winning that championship as you did, Greg, for UNLV, many people don't remember you played much of that season with a broken jaw.
Well, Kevin, I don't remember much of it, to be honest with you. It was pretty hazy. I lost 19 pounds over the course of the season.
Oh,
I was championship night. I was 168 pounds.
No kidding.
Yeah. Well, I was wired shut for 8 weeks. Did miss a game, but I tell you what, I don't know if I would do that today. But, you know, it did turn out well with the championship.
As I recall, you broke it against Fresno State, correct?
Yes, yeah. Got my legs taken out from under me and broke the fall, whipped my face.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, ouch. And the shot goes in.
Yeah, terrific effort there by Young, really all night. The defense has tried to make adjustments, but he's just stayed one step ahead of them.
Williams inside. He's against Young. A second chance effort. Out left to the wing. Here's Mann. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
Ouch. 5 shots without a make. That's a really ragged start coming out of halftime.
It's blocked. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Hawks will retain possession. Let's take another look at the staunch defense during that Mobile One block.
And that's what a team needs when they're trailing. Energy on D.
Carter, he's checked in for the Hawks. Teague comes in for Trae Young. Carter on the wing. Zubats defending. Carter, the pass to Hunter. 5 to shoot. Fires the 3. Buries the long-range jumper. Herter's got 6 points.
Yeah, those are starting to add up, guys. Of their last 5 baskets, 3 have been triples.
The 3 from George. Rebound by the Hawks.
Now, I'll tell you, they're going to need more from this guy if they're going to cut into this deficit.
Here's Teague, and he gets the whistle. 2 free throws coming up. That's on Lou Williams.
Well, that's just great body control from Teague on display. He's so good at anticipating the contact and going up into it.
This is his first trip to the line tonight.
Shooting 2.
And the first one drops.
This is why Teague is such a valuable player. You know, he's a solid shooter from anywhere, so he's able to space the defense. He can, with his handle, get inside the paint. There's a lot to like about Jeff Teague.
Los Angeles making a switch here. Beverly's checked in, and a change for the Hawks. Bruno Fernando's checked in for Hunter. And so Teague hits 2 free throws. The Clippers have got a paltry 0 of 6 to begin the third quarter. What a terrible start to the half. And George kicks to Beverly. Over Teague. And again, it's the Clippers missing.
Boy, what a job defensively. You couldn't play that any better.
A little over 2.5 minutes off the clock in this final half of play. And here is Zubats. They've been looking out of sync offensively.
Yeah, their offense has ground to a standstill.
Shamet the pass to George. Teague against Beverly. Clock at 4. Here's Zubats. And that one goes long.
I think this is a spot he has got to become more consistent from if you want to command the defender's respect.
Teague the pass to Herter. Here's Fernando. Here's Herter. 6 points for him. Carter right side. To the right side. Teague inside the line. No good with the wing jumper.
Defensive positioning so important, and he could not have played him better there.
Here's Shamet. Harrell trying to free himself up. And that one's good, Shamet.
Well, there's an aggressive mentality in play. Work in close, find a way to score.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And Montrezl Harrell, a fiery competitor, plays the game doors with a lot of emotion.
He does, Kevin. You think about his time playing in Houston, he struggled a little bit. He stewed on the bench, got a reputation as a little bit of a hothead. But look what happens in a new system in LA. The chemistry with Lou Williams. He settles him down a little bit. This city and this organization and his teammates have brought out the best in him.
Reggie Jackson's checked in for Paul George. Atlanta also making some changes here. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Clint Capella. Reddish comes in for Carter. And it's Bembry in for Kevin Herter. And the pass to Teague. And it's slammed in by Teague.
Oh, my goodness. If you don't get in front of Jeff Teague, he's going to throw it down off that dribble drive.
Beverly looking around. A minute 42 left in the third quarter of the game. Outside Jackson. 2 free throws coming up, and they call the shooting foul. And a quick look at how Atlanta's schedule shaping up. On Saturday, they'll face off against Anthony Davis and the Los Angeles Lakers. And then on Tuesday, they'll be matching up against Eric Bledsoe and the Milwaukee Bucks. And that one falls for Jackson.
And Jackson certainly doesn't lack confidence. A speedy guard who can fill it up in no time.
And the Clippers making a change here. Mann's checked in. Trae Young, he's checked in for the Hawks. And so Jackson nails both of them. We know, Greg, the NBA is full of superstars, yet you can foul out of the game after 6 personal fouls, and some have suggested instead just tacking on an extra free throw when a player commits their 6th+ foul, and then they can stay in the game.
You know, I think something along those lines could make sense. No doubt it's tough to see the marquee player riding the bench because it's not just the 6th foul, right? In some coaches, you pick up 2 in the first quarter, you're done for the quarter. You pick up a 3rd in the second, you're done for the half.
Yes.
So I would like to see something, but I think it's got to also be fair. Maybe you get free throws and another possession. Maybe something along those lines might be in the best interest of the game.
I like that. And that one misses. And it's Jackson with the ball, bringing it up for the Los Angeles Clippers. Oh!
My goodness.
Well, at 6'9" with good athleticism, dunking not a problem for Mr. Morris. Give him some space, and he makes you pay.
To the inside, Collins. And finished off by Collins.
I'll tell you, that vertical ability he has puts him in select company in NBA power forwards. May not have great size, but boy, he plays bigger than it.
Morris against Collins. Morris kicks to Jackson. Sinks the triple. Jackson's got 5 points in the quarter.
I tell you, one thing Jackson has never lacked: confidence. I mean, when he gets a look, Reggie always believes his next shot will be his best one.
Young inside, guarded by Jackson. Here's Bembry. Over Beverly. Bembry misses. Jackson down low. He's against Young, and Jackson gets it to go. Jackson's got 7 points.
And with the defender draped all over him, Jackson has that strength to fight through the contact.
On its way from Young for 2, and Atlanta again with the bucket.
And with the lead, I like the strategy here. Continue to get the ball to guys who can do something with it.
One thing we've learned in the NBA, the game is never over. So you've got to continue to score, continue to build your lead.
And so it's Atlanta taking a 19-point lead into the break. The scoring has been tremendous, and they are shooting lights out with very high accuracy. And don't go away. We'll be right back. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Just true artistry right there. I mean, great decision on where to go with the ball, and how about the perfect delivery?
We call that putting it right in the pocket, and he knew what to do with it once it was there.
And we reach the 4th quarter in a game that may be already out of hand. 4th quarter on the court for the Hawks. Hunter at the 3 with Collins at the 4. Young is out there with Reddish. And it's Dedmon in its center. Fast break, here we go. Hunter dishes to Collins. And Young, here we go. To the left side wing. Outside Collins. Dedmon kicks to Hunter. Another three for Atlanta.
A very consistent three-point shooter. Hunter shoots it well from there because of how confident he is.
Williams with the ball. Lets a floater go. That shot no good. Now here's Reddish. He's guarded by Williams. Reddish the pass to Dedmon. Young from outside, and it's the Clippers with the rebound. Zubac has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Young against Jackson. Now here's Williams. And good that time.
Well, the aggressive defense doesn't bother Lou Williams. They always send a ton of attention his way. Doesn't matter.
Time called here. The Hawks decide to talk it over. And it's been said that history is written by the victors. Certainly holds true in sports, don't you think, Greg? And with that in mind, do you think titles are overvalued when evaluating the great players, individual players in history?
You know, Kevin, I think so. Having said that, I think championships do matter, obviously, in the NBA and basketball in general. One guy can have more impact, right? Because you only play 5 and you play both ways. So it does have something to say, but I don't think that completes the narrative. You know, there's some tremendously talented guys, Karl Malone, Elgin Baylor, Patrick Ewing, Allen Iverson, a lot of greats who never won it. It's easy to count those rings. The measuring greatness has to take in the whole picture.
Hall of Famers, all of them. Harrell, he's checked in for Los Angeles. Paul George comes in for Reggie Jackson. Clint Capella, he's checked in for Atlanta. Kevin Huerter comes in for Reddish. Capella, the pass to Huerter. Young against Williams with the shot. Shot's good from Young. Young's got 26.
Right there, you see it. Young's ability to operate out of that pick and roll, very advanced for a player of his age.
Williams against Collins. Yep, that one goes in there.
You can't just stop when there's a pick set up. Gotta fight over it as a defender.
You know exactly what that takes. It takes energy, it takes activity, it takes intensity.
Collins finds Young, and he makes good on the layup. 28 points for him.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today? Ending with a basket, coming off a pretty pass.
Williams with a clean look. Hunter grabs the miss. Hunter's got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. Outside Collins. Inside, here's Young. That one drops for him. Young's got 30.
Well, you love that they've been able to rely on him time and time again. You love the effort here late.
Around 3 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. George passes to Mann. Now Collins. And here's Young. Passes it to Huerter. In the corner, Collins with it. Young outside. Capella kicks to Collins. It doesn't go for him. Great D that time from Harrell. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Here's Mann. Williams for 3 from beyond the arc and then some.
You've got to respect the range of Lou Williams. This guy is a threat to score from anywhere.
The Hawks leading by 21. Capella, high post. Hawks passing it around. Here's Herter, defended by George. Goes back up. Shot's good from Young. Young's got 32 points in the game.
You know, you love the effort. Forget the size disadvantage. Young's willing to go down there and mix it up.
Pass to Morris. He kicks it to George. Pass to Mann. Atlanta's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth.
And as we head to the final buzzer here, a crushing blowout, big-time dominance, and this will go in the record books as a gaudy win for Atlanta.
You know, a team can have a great shooting night without getting a lot of assists, but tonight they had both.
Yeah, and listen, you only get the assist if the guy you give it to makes the shot. So a lot of assists will up your field goal percentage, but this is a great team effort by everyone.
And now, for the year, this is going to take them to 7 wins.
And so they'll take the first game of the season series, a team they'll only see twice. They're certainly happy to start it off with a win.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Trae Young.
This guy has been shot-making all night long. He commands the rock and takes over.
George looking over the floor.
You can appreciate the fight now, but it isn't how they came into the game.
No doubt. It felt like they were a little tight for much of the evening. Now they're in a better flow, but it may be too little too late.
And Young, here we go. And they pick up 2. Young's got 36.
Finishing strong. This is how you want to close things out.
No question. They've gotten hot at exactly the right time. Clutch play on a team level.
The deep 3 from George on the money.
And when Paul George has this kind of rhythm and pace to his game, you simply want the ball in his hands as much as possible.
And so it's the Hawks taking care of business in this one. This crowd was stunned by the manner in which their team was dismantled.
You know what? Shocking. I don't care what the matchup is. You never expect a road team to come in and just cruise to the kind of win they did tonight.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Kevin, thank you. Trae, this is a young team. So what is the chemistry and connection that lets you play together so well?
I mean, if you're around us outside of the locker room, I mean, you can tell why we support each other so well, and the energy we have for each other on the court. I mean, you can tell the reason why we do that. And I mean, I love this group.
Well, congrats on the win, man. Appreciate your time. Kevin?
All right, David, thank you. And that'll do it, folks. For Greg Anthony, Doris Burke, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan along with our terrific 2K Sports crew, thanking you for tuning in. So long.